when you're ranking the best pasta dishes. So I thought it'd be fun if I did another little ranking. I think I've done one of these before. It's on this one's on Liwufufu. Before I think it was Ufufu or whatever. So they changed it and now it's Liwufufu. So I thought it would be fun if I just did one of these rankings again. So this one is like the best pasta dishes and it's like, I don't know, 16 pastas and you have to rank them. So anyways, to start it off, we got beef macaroni versus tuna casserole. Now, beef macaroni looks like the pictures right here, they look really good. They're very appetizing for both of them, but I don't know. Tuna, I don't know how many fish pastas there really are. Tuna casserole could be the only like fish flavored or like with the actual like the tuna casserole might be the only one to make it. Beef macaroni, if we're thinking about the long game here of like all the other beef dishes that are going to come out, is beef macaroni really going to hang in there with the rest of them? Tuna casserole has its own unique, you know what I mean, its own flavor. So I'm thinking about like not just about this matchup, but the overall thing. They both look good, and they both probably are good. But I don't know, beef macaroni or tuna casserole. I'm going to go tuna casserole. I'm going to choose. But personally, I think I would go with the beef macaroni. But and the overall, like, I don't think beef macaroni is gonna make it past like I don't know what else is on here, but like if spaghetti and meatballs goes up against beef macaroni, like I'm gonna choose spaghetti and meatballs. So beef macaroni is not gonna make it that far. It's only here to get rid of tuna casserole, but that's why I have to choose tuna casserole because it looks just as good. So tuna casserole, hanging in there. Prosciutto and peas or spaghetti carbonara. Oh boy. Prosciutto and peas. Spaghetti carbonara. The carbonara looks really good. The prosciutto and peas. I don't know. It's nice, but spaghetti carbonara. Yeah. Gnocchi with tomato sauce or lasagna? Lasagna. Has to be lasagna. No, but gnocchi is really good. So I'm going to go lasagna. Puttanesca or beef stroganoff. Ooh. I might have to do the stroganoff, dude. I might have to. Puttanesca. I don't even know what. Because it has like beans in there. I mean, it looks good. I'm not saying it's wrong, but beef stroganoff? Now that. If there was ever a stroganoff with beef in it, it just has a cool name to it too, you know what I'm saying? This picture looks great, by the way, as well. I just looking at the pictures, I can tell that beef on the it looks good. It looks really good. But the puttanesca looks really good as well. But beef stroganoff, that's where it's at. All right, beef stroganoff it is for the win. Baked ziti or pesto? Oh my goodness. Oh man, this is tough because the pesto, it's heavily green. This picture that they use is top tier. That makes it look so good. But the baked ziti, oh my. Well, I guess we already have lasagna, huh? I feel like lasagna beats baked ziti, but man, this pesto looks so good. I'm gonna go with the pesto. Although baked ziti, yo, oh my goodness, it looks so good. It's so much cheese on there. All right, pesto it is, though. Pesto. Bolognese or meatballs and spaghetti. I don't know why they didn't do, like, spaghetti and meatballs. It's spaghetti and meatballs. I'm doing that. But sorry, Bolognese. I'm sure you're great, but spaghetti and meatballs it is. Top tier. Mac and cheese or aglio e olio? This is one of those ones where it's like, aglio e olio is, like, really, it's kind of like a fancier pasta dish, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's really, really good. And it's got to be one of those ones where it's like you enjoy the flavor, but it's not every here and there, you know what I mean? But the mac and cheese, that's just a staple, you know what I mean? It's like you can have the extremely cheap mac and cheese, or you can have like really high-end made gourmet mac and cheese. And either way, you love the mac and you love the cheese. Aglio e olio, I mean, it's good, but if you met somebody and you're like, you've never had aglio e olio, it's not like going to be like, I don't know. I don't think it'll be life changing for somebody. You know what I mean? It's not. It's just gonna be like, yeah, it's just another pasta. Whereas mac and cheese, yeah, everybody loves mac and cheese. Mac and cheese, shrimp scampi and alla norma. So earlier when I said that the tuna casserole may be the only fish option, I didn't take into consideration shrimp. And shrimp scampi looks really good, but the alla norma looks amazing as well with the kind of like with the circular pasta. Oh my goodness, it looks delicious. It's like all in one pot too. Damn, that looks incredibly good. Because if I choose the alla norma, the shrimp scampi loses, and then the tuna casserole stays. But I feel like shrimp scampi is better than the tuna casserole. So I'd have to either get rid of alla norma so that the shrimp scampi can make it and then beat tuna casserole, or I keep alla norma and have tuna casserole sub in for the shrimp scampi. You know what I mean? So shrimp scampi would beat the tuna casserole. So if I let alla norma win here, right, I would make this shrimp scampi, I would make this the tuna casserole and boot it out. And then every time tuna casserole pops up, it would be shrimp scampi. Does that make sense? Because there's no guarantee that in the next one, shrimp scampi, and then I'd have to get rid of alla norma. So, all right, I'm gonna choose alla norma, but it's beating the tuna casserole. And anytime that tuna casserole pops up, it's gonna be the shrimp scampi. All right, so we're choosing alla norma. Alla norma for the win. Sorry, shrimps. Tuna casserole's out of here. Pasta primavera or linguine al vongole? Linguine al vongole. Al vongole. Gol. All right, whatever. It's pasta with some. I think those are clams with clams in there. Which I'm not gonna lie, I've never had pasta with clams in them, but it looks amazing. It looks really, really good, and I'm sure it's delicious. Pasta primavera, I mean, just look at it, all mixed together with like the different vegetables, and I think those are tomatoes. I could be wrong. They look like small little cherry tomatoes diced up and put in there. Ooh, this is a tough one because on the one hand, I haven't had the linguine alla vongole. But on the other hand, the pasta primavera, it just looks so good, right? So we have to ask ourselves, is it worth the linguine al vongole or the pasta? You know what? Let me look up what's in both of them. Okay, pasta primavera. Okay, what's in it? No. Vegetables, sauce, buttercream, cheese, fresh herbs. Okay, what's the vongole? Linguine al vongole. Linguine al vongole. Fresh clams, white wine, clams, pasta water, sauce. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I think, you know what? I think I have to go with the linguine al vongole because the pasta primavera is just pasta with vegetables in it, with a very nice like buttercream and cheese and like Parmesan cheese sauce. You know what I mean? Whereas the linguine al vongole, that one has the clams in it. And it says that because the clams are already so salty, you don't have to salt the pasta all that much. So it kind of works as a good pairing because like the saltier clams can add the flavor to the pasta, which I think is really cool. Even though I've never had it, I'm gonna go with the linguine al vongole just to make it different. Alla Gigi, is it Gigi or Gigi? Alla Gigi or alla Gigi? Alla Gigi, Gigi. All right, and fettuccine alfredo. Ooh. Now I haven't had the alla Gigi, so I have to look up what's in there, and then for sure I have to give it a fair shot to like. It looks like there's mushrooms in there, which probably adds a lot of flavor. So let's take a look in that. Oh, here it is. Um, yeah, there's like white mushrooms, prosciutto. Uh, it looks like it's just pasta with mushrooms in it. It doesn't look all that crazy to me. I love fettuccine alfredo, so maybe it's biased, whatever you want to call it. I'm going fettuccine alfredo. Sorry, Aligigi fans. Okay, so the tuna casserole popped back up, but remember this is shrimp scampi now. So shrimp scampi against spaghetti carbonara. I'm gonna give it to the shrimp scampi, man. I feel like spaghetti and meatballs is better than spaghetti carbonara, even though I'm sure it's. I mean, it's also delicious, but yeah, I'm gonna go shrimp scampi. Shrimp scampi, lasagna or beef stroganoff lasagna. You just gotta, pesto versus spaghetti and meatballs. Oh boy. It's one of those ones where it's like, you go with what you know versus something that's like a little bit out there. I feel like spaghetti and meatballs, it really is like, everybody's like, that's like the first go-to pasta dish that you think of. It's like Italian, you know what I mean? It's like it's a simple recipe, you know what I mean? But it's classic. It's so good. Whereas the pesto, the green and the taste of it, I mean, it's so fresh, it's so different. The green of it is just absolutely amazing. This picture of it, I'm telling you, this picture of it, this pesto looks so good. But the spaghetti and meatballs, it's just too classic. It's too classic to let it lose to pesto. Even though pesto is really amazing. Pesto is really good, but I got it. Man, that's a tough one because pesto should be higher. But because it's against spaghetti and meatballs, it gets like, man, that's tough. But I guess one way or another, the higher they go, the more and more they'd have to like meet each other eventually. So, hey, pesto, you made it through the first round. I'm proud of you. You look delicious, and you are delicious. And I'm glad that I don't have to live in a world without you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ranking doesn't mean anything. Like, you're still delicious. You know what I mean? You two can coexist, but if I had to like rank you guys, unfortunately, spaghetti and meatballs takes the win. It's out of there. Mac and cheese or alla norma? Man, alla norma, you made it. You know what I'm saying? You made it through the first round. I did what I could for you against the shrimp scampi. You know what I mean? Or technically the tuna casserole, I guess. But, well, it was the shrimp scampi, but then I changed it to tuna casserole so you could win. So you could get to this point. But now they're putting mac and cheese up against you. Damn. Hey, be proud of yourself. You made it through the first round, okay? Mac and cheese it is. For the win. Linguine en vongole al vongole versus the fettuccine alfredo. So listen, the clams, I don't know how much, I haven't tried it. I can't tell you how much flavor they really add or like how good it really could be or is, you know what I'm saying? And especially because like, you can't eat the shell. You have to like open it up and dig in there with your hands. So I don't know, man. I gotta give it to the fettuccine alfredo. It's too good, dude. It's too good. But linguine en vongole, I feel like I gave you a pretty fair shot. I gave you through the first round. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at me for your... You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm sure you're a lovely dish, but I gotta give it to fettuccine alfredo. It's so good. Okay, shrimp scampi versus lasagna. Whew. Look, shrimp is amazing. It's very delicious. It's... If you can't eat shellfish, I'm pretty sure it's everybody's like favorite shellfish meal. Like everybody loves a good shrimp cocktail or shrimp and pasta is definitely a win. But when you're going up against a hot piece of lasagna, I guarantee you 9 out of 10 people choose the lasagna. okay, over the shrimp scampi. Now, shrimp scampi, I have no doubt it bangs. Okay, it probably bangs, dude. But against the lasagna, come on. Come on. Layers of beef, cheese, with the thin pasta layer over it, with a little bit of basil on top, shredded parmesan on top as well. I mean, damn, dude. You can't. That's magic right there. It's magic. And then the lasagna has like beef in it and maybe a little bit of like a spicy Italian sausage in there. Ooh, damn. It's just so good. I can't, you know what I mean? It's like people would fight for years for a taste, a slice of that bad boy, you know what I mean? Shrimp scampi, I mean, let's not get it twisted here. Shrimp is delicious. It's magnificent, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's like, I don't know, man. It's like you can catch like shrimp, and then all you have to do is boil them and then like put them in some pasta. With the lasagna, you have to build the layers. You know what I'm saying? You have to build those layers, put in the ingredients, bake it in a dish at however hot it needs to be. And then once you pull it out, you have to let it cool down to the desired temperature so you don't burn your mouth. All right? And then when all of that is completed, you have to grate fresh Parmesan on top. Okay? Get it that little extra cheesiness. Cut yourself a little cube of layers of lasagna. All right? Serve it for yourself with a little bit of basil, with like a little basil leaf on top to give it a little garnish, all right? A little freshness on top. Maybe you eat it with a little bit of a side salad, you know what I'm saying? So you get your greens. And then you get like a little hot, fresh bread on the side, you know what I'm saying? And then you get your fork and your knife and you divide it up or you cut a little piece off, right? You put your fork in and it digs in through the layers, all right? And then it naturally like it picks it up a little bit, but because the pasta is so thin and it's so like well cooked, it's a little floppy, you know what I'm saying? It can't hold all of the greatness inside of it. So it flims around a little bit. And then your fork goes in through the layers and you lift it up just ever so slightly up to your mouth. And you can smell the goodness in it. And then you open up and you taste that bad boy. Oh my goodness. Lasagna. Let's go on lasagna. Shrimp scampi. I'm sure. Let me give you the fair shot, okay? You're out there on a boat. All right? And you're fishing. You're fishing for some shrimp. You throw out the net and you're like, all right, let me catch a few fresh ones, you know? You catch a couple and you're like, I got some pasta and I can boil some water. You boil the water, you know what I mean? You get the pasta all nice in there. You maybe boil it with the shrimp in there or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Get it cooked to perfection. And the saltiness of the shrimp will add flavor naturally to the pasta that you throw into the boiling water, right? And then you add like a little bit of a sauce to it. I don't know what kind of sauce shrimp scampi has, but you make a little bit of a sauce, you know what I'm saying? And then you could leave them unshelled, or you could unshell them yourself, like, you know, just remove the shell and whatnot. But you take that off, and the saltiness of the shrimp will add quality to the pasta. And then once you take that first bite of it, Man. If you don't like shrimp, if you don't like seafood, then it maybe doesn't connect. But I know what that tastes like, and it's good. But yeah, it's got to be lasagna, dude. It's lasagna. Spaghetti and meatballs versus mac and cheese. Now this is a difficult one. All right, and this is a difficult one because they're both classics, they're both staples, but you have to ask yourself, all right, what are we talking about here? We're talking about best pasta dishes, okay? Now, as a pasta dish, Mac and cheese is not a main, okay? Now, that's not to say it's, you can't eat it by itself, right? But when served alongside with anything else, you know what I mean? It's a side dish. Does that make sense? Like, you can eat mac and cheese by itself and have that be your main dish. Sure. But you throw in like Thanksgiving, if you have a turkey right there, that's the main. And then the mac and cheese is the side. Nobody has mac and cheese for main and then like a steak on the side. That makes no sense. You have the steak with the mac and cheese on the side. It's a side dish. It's an amazing side dish, and it has gotten this far. All right, but spaghetti and meatballs is a main dish. Okay, it is the main dish, a classic main dish. Okay, they have a song for spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, so anyways, I feel like because mac and cheese is maybe a little oversaturated, not the spaghetti and meatballs isn't, but spaghetti and meatballs stays traditional, right? Very rarely do we see like huge kind of exploits, you know what I mean? Like, you don't see people going like too crazy around spaghetti and meatballs. People keep it traditional, you know what I'm saying? Maybe every now and then somebody will be like, "Oh, hey, let's make them spicy meatballs," or "let's do this," or "let's do that." You know what I mean? They'll add a little touch to it, but you don't really need to do much to great stuff. Mac and cheese has various levels of mac and cheese, all right? It's not all traditional. It's not all one thing. And like I said earlier, you can have it like really cheap, the really downgrade stuff with like that, with the powder, you know what I mean? The Kraft mac and cheese with the powder in there. And that's delicious, don't get me wrong. But then the high end, the more gourmet meals where it's like you put in the oven dish, you make the sauce, you put it on like breadcrumbs on top, you like cook it in the oven and stuff like that. Like really making spaghetti, mac and cheese. That's so good. But again, it's a side. It's a side. It's a delicious side piece. Ooh, you know that mac and cheese is that side chick that you know for a fact is going to give it to you every single time. And it's good. You know what I'm saying? Macaroni in a pot. That's some, it's that good. All right? But it's not. And maybe it's better being the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you wish that the side was the main, but the side is the side. Do you get what I'm putting down here? Like, it's good, but maybe it's good because it's the side. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the side. So, meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs, man. You got it, dude. You got it. You got to make it through. Mac and cheese, you're sexy. You're a sexy side piece right there. Oh, damn. But it goes to spaghetti and meatballs. Fettuccine Alfredo versus lasagna. So, fettuccine Alfredo. Man, that is I think it's of the few dishes on here without like any kind of like meat applied to it. Obviously you can have chicken Alfredo, but this is just saying fettuccine Alfredo, just the pasta and the sauce by itself. All right? They didn't add any shrimp, they didn't add chicken to this, they didn't add anything to this, all right? It's just fettuccine Alfredo. This is one of the baddest pastas because it doesn't need, like, if you add the chicken on top, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't need the chicken. The pasta and the sauce carry. They do their job. They do what they're supposed to do, right? Having chicken or shrimp in there is an added bonus. It's like, ooh, snap. Like, it tastes really good with the chicken. It tastes really good with the shrimp. This is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really good. Stupidly good. But fettuccine Alfredo alone, it's amazing. Just by itself, it's really, really good. But we're not talking about anybody here. We're not talking about just whatever kind of pasta. We're talking about lasagna here. Okay? Now, I feel like because fettuccine alfredo alone is just pasta and the sauce, it gets very, very high praise. And it should deserve it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it's making me think about choosing it over lasagna speaks volume to its character and its deliciousness. All right? But when you're talking about the best pasta dish, you can't tell me that the noodles are a signature, all right? They're a signature. But when you can create layers upon layers with the pasta and fill it with meat and cheese, it has to go to lasagna. I can't. Now that's not to say that I don't enjoy the noodles, right? Like the pasta, there's a time and a place for it. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? They're two different things. But I feel like every now and then, if I had to eat, like if this ranking system was like you can only eat lasagna all of the time, then I would get bored of lasagna, right? And then I'd be like, ooh, I do want some fettuccine alfredo, right? And vice versa. If I was only eating fettuccine alfredo, then I would be like longing for lasagna. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what this is about. It's about which one uses their pasta-ness to its full effect. Now, fettuccine alfredo is not the only noodled pasta. Like, let's be real here. There's spaghetti. There's the the angel hair pasta. Like, there's so many other varieties of pastas. But the fettuccine, you know what I mean? The fettuccine alfredo, it really, really carries. You know what I'm saying? For the noodles. But I feel like alone, it's not enough to beat lasagna. I'm sorry, dude. It just... it's a tough one because those noodles are ridiculously good. But it has to go to lasagna right now. It just has to. But top tier, fettuccine alfredo, you made it this far. And I'm proud of you, okay? Don't ever let anybody diminish your worth, okay? Lasagna, you're going through. All right, the last round. We all knew on some level it was going to be this, all right? Now, maybe you disagree with my rankings. Maybe you feel like, oh, we're talking about pasta. Lasagna is kind of like a pasta fusion, you know what I mean? A built-up pasta dish, you know what I'm saying? The pasta isn't the main star of it all, you know what I mean? But I counter it with it's a great mix of the lasagna pasta, you know, layers mixed with it all fits together, you know what I'm saying? It's like a sandwich. You can't make a sandwich without the bread. So the bread is a part of the sandwich. And depending on the kind of bread you use, it amplifies or diminishes the bread, right? The same thing with the lasagna. Without that layer of it, it just wouldn't work, you know what I'm saying? If you replaced the lasagna pasta layers, right, the shell, then it wouldn't be lasagna. It would just be like spaghetti and meatballs. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't work the same way. It's because they can layer on top of each other that it becomes the pasta dish. It becomes a pasta dish. It's ridiculously good, and they nailed it on the head with that one. But against the traditional spaghetti and meatballs, dude, we're talking about two top tier pasta dishes. All right, both of them are mains. So we're talking about. Damn, dude, it's you hate to see two goats going up against each other. You know what I mean? This is dead ass like Professor X and Magneto fighting. It's like, you know what I mean? You would be so great together as a team, but they're forcing me to rank them. All right, so it all comes down to which one would you really like? You go to an Italian restaurant, you sit down, you look at the menu, and you tell yourself, What would what's something that you want? You know what I'm saying? Now you can make both of these dishes. I've made lasagna and I've made spaghetti and meatballs. All right? I've made both of them. They're both fire. All right? So I can make the dishes myself. But you go to a restaurant, you're like, let me see how they make it. Let me see what they offer. Let me see how they roll with it. Okay? Now I'm not gonna lie to you, all right? When put in that scenario, like you go into a restaurant and you're like, let me see how they make it. Because spaghetti and meatballs is so traditional, there's not much that they can really do different with the ingredients on there, right? Like, sure, maybe their pasta is fresher, right? Maybe they don't use the same one in the box that you use. Maybe they hand make their spaghetti noodles there at the pasta there. Maybe they make it there that day. But I feel like lasagna, they could add any number of different things to that bad boy. Whereas spaghetti and meatballs, yeah, it's weird because it's like you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be spaghetti and meatballs. It's not gonna be anything crazier than that. With the lasagna, there's maybe a little bit of a specialty that they could do with it. You know what I mean? They could add something to the cheese in there. They could add something to the beef or the various meats. Maybe they put pork. Maybe they put chicken. Maybe they do this. Maybe they do that. How big are the portions? Maybe their pasta shells are different here or there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. This is a tough one. But if I'm going to an Italian restaurant, if I'm going to spend money on a dish that I know I can make, I feel like I can make spaghetti and meatballs better than the restaurant. So I'm not going to choose that. I'm going to choose the lasagna. The lasagna because that has the most. I feel like maybe an Italian restaurant would have more ways to improve the dish than what I could make at home. That's just me thinking, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not true. Maybe it isn't just as crazy as I think it is, but I definitely feel like it has to go to lasagna. It has to. Now, if I made spaghetti and meatballs and I made lasagna and I had to choose like a plate of either or, and they said, this is like, okay, so if they came up to me and they were like, all right, you just made spaghetti and meatballs and you just made lasagna. Whichever one you eat is going to be the pasta that you eat for the rest of your life. Which one are you going to choose? I would choose spaghetti and meatballs. That's because it's just so traditional. It's so classic. It's like, oh man, so good. You know what I'm saying? It has everything you want right there, you know? Whereas lasagna, I love lasagna, but it's just like, without the noodles attached to it, I feel like I'm not getting the full-on pasta experience per se. But that's not what we're deciding right now. It's not about what would I eat for the rest of my life. It's about which one do I rank above the other. All right? Which one is my particular favorite or which one goes just a little bit above the other. All right. And I think it's a special time when you have lasagna. Okay? Who had a lasagna and it was just like a regular day? You know what I'm saying? Like spaghetti and meatballs, because it's so traditional, it's so classic, people have it all the time, right? Lasagna is like, I'm making a meal. Does that make sense? Like, obviously spaghetti and meatballs is a meal. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, oh, hey, I just made some spaghetti and meatballs. You know, whatever. It's, you know, you've had spaghetti and meatballs, right? Yeah, here, go ahead, have it. Whereas lasagna, it's like, I just made a lasagna. You know what I'm saying? Like, I built those layers. It has to go to lasagna. I'm sorry, dude. It's just ever so slightly above it. And perhaps that's my own fault. You know what I'm saying? Because spaghetti and meatballs is so, like, I don't know, common for me. Because of that, like, I don't make lasagna as much. Because it's so heavy. I mean, spaghetti and meatballs can be heavy too, but it feels like you can have a lighter portion or not as much of it. It's like, it's not that crazy, you know? Lasagna is pretty crazy. So, for those reasons, I'm going to give it to lasagna. Lasagna takes it, baby. Lasagna. Yeah. Okay, what did other people... People put spaghetti carbonara at the top with a 74% win rate. Mac and cheese at number 2. Number 3, lasagna. Number 4, spaghetti and meatballs. Number 5, fettuccine alfredo. So it's good to know that I wasn't too far off on my rankings, but damn, everybody, mac and cheese was a lot higher than I thought. Just because it's, you know, it beat lasagna. It beat lasagna. That's crazy. But not on my ranking. So anyways, you can find this on Liwufufu. It's called Best Pasta Dish. Yeah. And you can rank it for yourself. Figure out. Take a look at the pictures if you want. But other than that, I'm surprised spaghetti carbonara is as high as it is. I mean, I know it's good, but it's just the spaghetti. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm the one out of the loop. Maybe I'm crazy. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Lasagna wins. Spaghetti and meatballs second. I think fettuccine alfredo and mac and cheese are like 4th and 5th, something like that. What else did I have? Shout out to pesto. Yeah. That's about it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hold on, what was at the bottom? Alla Norma was at the bottom. I guess a lot of people just don't eat it, and so that's why it's like kind of at the bottom. Linguine alle vongole was like number 18. So Haligigi baked ZT. Pesto was at number 10, so it's kind of like at the halfway point. It's good, but I guess it just doesn't get up there as often. Oh well, anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Let me know if my ranking was good or bad. You know, let me know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you.